Today we are here with Samantha Schnettler from the Rotary Club of Harbor Beach. Samantha is our District 6310 Public Image Chair. We will discuss what is public image and the impact it has. In this pandemic year, Samantha's team has been one of the ingredients to keep our district moving forward. So hello, Samantha, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Randy. Thank you so much for having me today. And hello, everyone out there that's going to watch this video. As you mentioned, Randy, I reside here in Harbor Beach. I'm a small business owner and a fairly new Rotarian. I will begin my term as president over our club in this upcoming Rotary year, and I will begin my 4th year as a Rotarian.
Oh, well, that's awesome. So, who is on our District 6310 Public Image Committee?
That's a really great question. And I have to laugh a bit because an antiquated public image assumption in Rotary is that we're just a good old boys club. Yeah, my committee is comprised of all women. So, of course, I'm the chair. My responsibilities are keeping everyone organized, providing direction, assistance to all of our committee members as needed. I also focus on making sure that we stay within Rotary International's branding guidelines, and spearhead any initiatives that we're focused on. And then, of course, Connie, everyone in the district should know Connie. She's our administrative assistant at the district, but she also assists the public image team with communications. So she sends out our monthly district dispatch, as well as she sends out messages from various other committees and the district governor-elect, as that information is needed. And then Cindy, she has been dubbed our Facebook queen. Cindy is our social media manager, and she also helps out with video editing and graphic design. And then we have Rachel, and Rachel is our website manager. She makes all the changes on the website, the updates as needed. She also focuses on graphic design for our district initiatives as they come up. And then she's also a content curator. So she's responsible for a lot of the creative content that you might see in some emails that go out. Most reminiscent to me is the Vroom a Zoom Zoom event that we did. She came up with a lot of really creative content for that event. That was a lot of fun. And then she's also one of our video editors as well. So she edits all of Randy's monthly videos and puts those together. And then Cindy puts those up on YouTube. And then Connie sends them out via email. So we all just work together to get the job done.
Well, that's awesome. What does public image do for our district?
So public image enhances our district twofold. Not only do we work to tell our Rotary stories to members within our district and keep them engaged and inspired, but we also use public image to introduce non-Rotarians to our organization and the impacts that we make within our communities and around the world. So in short, we manage communications to the district, and we ensure that the district is following Rotary International brand guidelines, but we're also working to make sure that Rotary stories are making it to district members and Rotarians throughout the district, as well as non-Rotarians.
Yeah, when you look back at the last year, because I think it's really been in the last year that your team has been really together. What do you think has been the biggest impact your committee has had?
Wow, that's a great question. A lot of this year for me was, spent getting organized and as a committee, getting our feet underneath us. This was my first year serving as the chair. So, I needed some time to learn what Rotary International expects from public image committees on the district level. And of course, I'm still learning. That's an ongoing learning opportunity. But we were able to tackle communication on several big district initiatives. We had an event with Michelangelo Caruso that was very successful. That was early on in the pandemic. So that was sort of our first opportunity to stretch our legs in a digital world. And then there was the Vroom a Zoom Zoom event that I mentioned earlier. That was a Rotary Education Summit. And that was especially fun because we partnered with 2 other districts to share that event. And so we got to work with public image individuals from other districts as well. And then our committee also assisted the Rotaract committee in their efforts to start a new Rotaract club within the district. And we had a whole event for that, and we've done some follow-up, surveys and emails, and that's been a lot of fun. And then, of course, we've done a lot of work on Facebook this year. We've tried to stay engaged with clubs and members, in places that they already are, and Facebook is one of those. My favorite and one of the most notable accomplishments of our committee this year was a new billboard on I-75. So we had a billboard that was gifted to Rotary to use about 10 years ago. We just had to provide the designs. And of course, after 10 years, it needed to be updated. It was faded. And then also it still had the old Rotary branding on it. So we worked together as a committee to design a new billboard. We submitted that to the billboard company. And I believe in September is when that billboard officially went live.
Yeah, and that does look really nice. I've driven by it several times, and right on 75, just north of the 675 interchange. So it's really nice. So why is public image important for the district and for our clubs?
Another great question. Rotary's public image isn't just about what we think of ourselves, because of course we all know we're all doing great work in our communities. We're getting together, we're socializing and networking, and we're learning, and then we're making impacts. But it's also about what people outside of Rotary know and think about us. And so getting people to recognize Rotary's name, that's a start, but our work needs to go further. So talking about Rotary in ways that explains what we do and the impact we make, it's essential to enhancing people's understanding and inspiring them to get involved. So I mentioned earlier, it's twofold. It is twofold. Public image keeps existing Rotarians inspired and engaged and excited about what we're doing as an organization, but it also introduces non-Rotarians to what our organization is doing in an effort to spark their interest and spur them to get involved.
Mm-hmm. And at the club level, should clubs have their own public image chair?
In most cases, yes, they should. So my club is one of the smaller clubs in the district, and our secretary and president work closely together to try and share this role. But for larger clubs, and by larger clubs, I mean you've got 20 people or more, having a dedicated public image chair to spearhead your communications and make sure that your branding is meeting all of the Rotary International guidelines, it's important. I often hear from individuals within the district asking me specifically about their flyers or a piece of communication that they're going to send out. Hey, does this work? Can we use the logo this way? Does this, adhere to the branding guidelines? And that's where having, a chairperson at the club level would be incredibly helpful. There's so many resources for that individual at My Rotary to learn about the branding guidelines and how Rotary wants us to use public image within our clubs and within the district. And I mentioned earlier, it wasn't very recent. I think it was 2013 that Rotary updated their logo. But unfortunately, many clubs are still using the outdated old logo in their communications. And so that's an area where, a public image chair can come forward and say, this is something that we need to update, and this is something that we need to change. So, there's a lot of different areas where a public image chair can be impactful and be helpful at the club level. One last piece on the Rotary logo that I found interesting and just learned recently is the Rotary logo on its own should not be used on any club or district initiatives or your advertisements. So Rotary has provided guidelines for every club and every district to add their name to the Rotary logo. So when you're creating a flyer or you're sending out an email or you're doing something on Facebook that's using the Rotary logo, if you're doing it as your club or you're doing it as your district, you should make sure that you're including your club or district's name as part of the logo.
And if someone wants to contact you or someone on the committee, what's the best way to do that?
Yes, our district website is the perfect place to start, rotary6310.org. Right on the homepage at the top, there's a button for public image. If you go there, you can find my contact information, Cindy, our Facebook queen, her contact information, as well as Rachel's contact information for any website concerns, video questions. And then, of course, everyone should have Connie's information at the ready in their inbox. Connie does send out the district dispatch and other communications to you, and she's very quick to respond to emails. So if you want to get a hold of Connie, You can reply to any email she sent or fire off a fresh one.
Well, I just want to thank you for your time today and all that you and your committee does for District 6310. During this pandemic year, it's been quite a challenge to keep things moving forward, and you have certainly been very, very important in that process.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak today and also to serve on this committee. We've truly had a good time and I've really enjoyed it. And, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to invite Rotarians throughout our district. If public image sounds interesting to you, if communications is something that you excel at or have a passion for, we are always open to new people joining our committee. There is plenty of room for more. And the fact that we're an all-female group, don't let that hesitate anyone out there. So, of course, if anyone has any interest in public image at the district level, I would say for me in my Rotary career, becoming involved at the district level has definitely amped up my passion for my club as well. You remember suddenly that we're connected to much larger groups doing much greater things outside of just our own communities. So again, if anyone has any interest or special skills and they're interested in the Public Image Committee, don't hesitate to reach out to one of us or to Randy.
Okay. Thanks again, Samantha. And everyone out there, stay healthy and be safe.